25, and today I'm doing a Last Jedi movie review. As you can tell by the title, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on some things, not the entire movie, obviously, but I will talk a lot about the major points in the movie. I'm gonna talk about some of the things, my opinions, maybe for episode 9, and what I think of the new characters. I'll probably start out with what I think of the new characters, but anyway, after this point, this video has major spoilers. This is not a spoiler-free movie review. It is not. So, yeah, spoilers. Spoilers. So, yeah, you were warned, you've been warned. Because, sometimes people end up watching or looking at stuff that spoils a movie and they get all mad, but really it was their fault that they went on there. So, anyway, alright, let's get to the review. Hopefully I won't make this too long. Okay, so I'm going to start out with talking about new characters. And what I mean by new characters is not any that were in The Force Awakens, but new characters that had, somewhat of an impact or just were a character in the movie that it showed a lot and we know their name. They're not just some random person background. I'll start out with Rose. Now, a lot of people had a problem with her. They thought she was just some useless love interest for Finn. Now, is she essential? I don't think so. I don't think she's essential. It could have been anybody else, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me she's in the movie. I don't care that her and Finn, have some kind of thing, or at least she has a thing for him, I'm pretty sure, but who even cares? Because I don't care about that stuff. When it comes to movies and TV, I don't care about the relationships of the people. Like, The Walking Dead, I don't care. If no one got together, it wouldn't bother me a bit. If they do, I don't care if they do or don't, it doesn't matter. But in Apocalypse, the more people you are attached to, the worse it'll be for you. But anyway, back to Star Wars. Yeah, so did I like her as a character? Sure. She didn't suck. People are saying she was worse than Jar Jar. Now, the only thing about Jar Jar is, actually, he was really useful. Just as useful as she was in the movie. She had something to do in the story. Now, this is Jar Jar Episode 1. Even though he's annoying, and if I was in Star Wars and I met him, I would most definitely cut his head off with a lightsaber. Not even waste any time, but yeah, she's not a sucky character to me in any way, but she's there, and I don't mind that she's there. If she wasn't there, it wouldn't bother me, but that's just all I have to say about her. She's alright. And DJ was a new character, I don't even know. He was like he knows how to work gadgets and whatever technology, but he just seems like some kind of bum or whatever. He did have a lot to do with the story. Did I like him? Wouldn't say I liked him. I wouldn't say I didn't like him. He was just kind of there as well. Just some new guy that you're like, oh, okay, here's a new character. It's that kind of thing, but, if they weren't there, it wouldn't bother you. But he did help Rose and Finn and BB-8 off of the planet. So, kind of more essential than Rose, but I actually, in my head, cannot think of a specific thing that Rose did that if she didn't do. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, the only thing, here's why I don't mind Rose, now that I think about it, actually. Finn was going to kill himself. He was going to head right into the cannon. Obviously, if you guys have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And blow it up. And she came off to the side and hit him. And that was one of the parts of the movie I was in my head, thinking, I was, froze up, thinking, no, not Finn. I thought he was going to die. And then she did that, and I was like, oh, thank God. And then I thought she was dead, and I was like, oh, well, whatever, who cares? And then she kissed him, and he didn't really kiss her back, which, good. Good job, Finn. But, yeah, that's the only thing I would say I like her for. Other than that, she's just kind of there, and it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, so, like I said, DJ, he's an alright character, I guess. He's there. He does have to do with the story a little bit. He portrays Finn and Rose to the First Order, so, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he died, because he was on the ship and the ship went down, so I think he died. Oh well. Next character, which I cannot for the life of me remember her name. And I actually looked up the cast, and it doesn't have the character's name, it just has her name. And if you guys have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. She has purple hair. Maybe if you know the character... Sorry. It's pretty nasty, I burped. Maybe if you know the character, comment down below what her name is if you want. If not, it doesn't really matter to me. But if you've seen the movie, she's got purple hair. She's an older woman, purple hair. I can't remember the actress's name, but she was in Jurassic Park. One of the older ones. But, yeah. What did I think about her? At first I didn't like her. I thought she was kind of just, oh, Princess Leia's out. So she just kind of comes in, takes charge, and it was kind of annoying. And then I just kind of liked her. Like the other characters, all I would have to say about her, she's alright. Now, what she did with to those ships, those First Order ships, when she went into light speed and just went blown straight through them, now that was awesome. That is something that she did that was pretty awesome. Now, I've heard people say that she could have just, put the ship in light speed and somehow left the ship, but I don't even know if you can do that. I think when you press light speed, it pretty much just goes into light speed. So, I think she did the right thing. Plus, oh well, she's dead. But, yeah, she's an alright character. Any more new characters that pertained any more to this story? Not really. But I'm going to talk about my thoughts on characters that were in The Force Awakens that are in this movie, and how I thought about them and what I think about them now. Okay, so, like I said, I'm going to talk about what I thought about the characters in The Force Awakens and what I think about them now. So, Force Awakens to now. Force Awakens, I'll start out with Rey. I liked her, and I still do. And I feel that my thoughts on her haven't changed. She's kind of still stayed with herself the way she is, with her power with the Force and stuff, since she got really strong really fast with the Force, for reasons we don't know yet. And that's why the parent situation comes up, where when Kylo Ren said that her parents were actually nothing, just people that sold her for drinking money, I kind of believe that, but then again, he could have deceived her at that time just to get her on his side. But anyway, I'll talk about Kylo Ren in a moment. But, yeah, my thoughts on her haven't really changed. I probably like her more than I do in The Force Awakens now. But not really much to say. Then I like her the same, pretty much. And I like what she does in this movie and all that, and what she did in The Force Awakens, so pretty cool. But now I'll talk about Poe. Poe is actually one of my new favorite characters, I would have to say. He's real, tough guy. He just goes straight in, does what other people won't do, even though it might cost him his life, or it may other people's life. He goes and does it because he knows it'll help. Which, that sounds kind of reckless, but for Star Wars, that's a good trait to have. It's somewhat of a Han Solo trait, a little bit, which is why I like him. So that's my thoughts on him. I thought he's become more of a character. He didn't show up in The Force Awakens all that much, and I like that he was in this movie a lot, because I really do like him as a character. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Poe. Now Finn. Finn hasn't really changed for me. I liked him pretty much the moment right when he started communicating with Rey in The Force Awakens. I thought he seemed like a cool character, plus he's a stormtrooper, and we've never seen anything of a stormtrooper, which, of course, he's not bad, so he doesn't have the stormtrooper, the opinions that a stormtrooper would have in the First Order, but it's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool character. And yeah, my thoughts on him haven't really changed very much, other than I still like him the same, and probably a little bit more than I did in The Force Awakens, just because as you know characters, you like them, and your likeness of them grows. So, for him and Rey, yeah, it changed a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. It's just that they were shown in the movie, so, you can actually see. Like Poe, he wasn't in The Force Awakens all that much, so you couldn't really you didn't know if you really liked him all that much yet, so yeah, so that's why his changed. BB-8, I would say is, I still like him the same, haven't really changed much there. I thought he was used just the right amount in this movie. The droids always are used just the right amount, but yeah, and I thought he did some pretty cool things, like controlling that walker, I don't think they're still called the same thing that they were, but he controlled people call them chicken walkers, ATSTs or whatever. So yeah, it is ATSD, but I don't know if they still call them that in the First Order. But yeah, when he controlled one of those, that was pretty cool. What I think about Princess Leia is still like her the same, probably the same as I always have. I've always appreciated Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Just the things that she does as a character. She's pretty tough, and she's the only princess I would say that I like. And I guess if we're talking movies and real life princesses, I would say Princess Diana, which is Wonder Woman. I like her, I guess, but I'm not here to talk about DC or anything. But anyway, Princess Leia, or General Leia, I guess she would be in these, I'm pretty sure, but my thoughts on her changed only because of one scene that left a lot of people probably confused, that left me confused. Like I said, I'm going to give my complete thoughts and honesty on this. Did I think the part was stupid? Kind of. Only because if you don't look behind it, it makes no sense. So, the scene when Kylo Ren hesitates to shoot into the window where area in the ship where Princess Leia is, where he hesitates, and then the two TIE fighters come and shoot, and it explodes. You see Princess Leia from the front, flames come in, pull her back, and you think she's done for. But then, no. She moves her hand, she opens her eyes, and then she, all of a sudden, like Iron Man, Superman, Mary Poppins, I don't really know, flies, she Peter Panned it in space, into the ship. Now, there are things about the Force that we don't know, and this is why I say this can make sense. Actually, before I say how it can make sense, I'm going to say how it doesn't. Now, to do something like this, you would need years in training. Now, for a Jedi, even as powerful as Master Yoda, he was not always that powerful. He needed a lot of training throughout his years, so he got better and better and better and better as the years went on in his whole 900 years that he trained Jedi. But, yeah, same thing with, like, Luke. See, he got older, he got stronger. Anakin, Darth Vader, he got more powerful, he also got older, he got stronger. They get stronger as they train and as they learn how to use their Force abilities. She has never, that we know of, done anything. The closest thing that she has done with Force, using the Force, which wasn't even on accident, on purpose, is when she sensed Luke in danger on Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back. When she said to turn around, she knows where he is. That was the closest thing, and we've always known that she's had the Force. She's kind of tapped into it because she's a Skywalker, but come on, she has no training, her age, sure, but this is why it can make sense. Now, the Force is unpredictable, and maybe for the story and for life in Star Wars, talking about actually in the movie, the Force thought she needed to live, so it helped her live. Because no one was going to come out and save her. They couldn't. They could not get a ship out there to save her. She would have been a goner. But the Force, I think, helped her survive. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but if you look down, see how I think of it is, there's a door, and you wonder what's behind the door, but you don't know what is behind the door, and then you open it, and you really get to see what is behind the door, and you can think about it more. So, that is what I would say, and for my entire interpretation of the movie, or my thoughts on the movie. So, yeah. Did I think it was stupid? No. Once I thought about it, once I opened that door, I kind of thought this could make sense. If they touch on it in Star Wars 9, which who knows if they will, maybe it'll make sense. Maybe they won't touch on it. Maybe we'll be just left in the dark and be like, what? Everything in Star Wars has a meaning. Everybody needs to realize that. Even if they don't do it in the movies, you have to look in a book, in a comic book, or just something, and it will explain things. Like things in Episode 3, or Revenge of the Sith, things that I never even knew, are explained in books. People do videos on the books, so you can just go look it up or something. So, they don't leave everything up. They don't leave really anything up to the imagination. They really don't. But anyway, now I'm going to talk about Kylo Ren, before I get to what my actual thoughts after seeing the movie were. Kylo Ren in this, I've always hated him for killing Han Solo, but I thought he was a pretty cool character from the get-go, pretty much. But since he killed Han Solo, I hated him all the way up until I saw this movie, and I think he is one of the best, new characters. He has a complex thing going on with himself between the light and the dark, helping Rey, helping Snoke, doing what the First Order does. He is in no way with the Rebellion, that's for sure, or the Resistance, whichever you may call it, but he's back and forth, so he's a really complex, interesting character, and I do like him a lot more in this movie, and I like that he's not fully going with what Snoke says. And I will talk about Snoke in a little bit. He's another thing altogether after I talk about my thoughts on the movie in general. Okay, so my actual thoughts after watching The Last Jedi. When I came back from the movie, I was confused. There were some things that made me happy when I saw it, some things that confused me, some things I was annoyed by and thought were dumb, like the Princess Leia scene. But like I said, you wonder what's behind the door, you have to open the door. And when you open the door, you can see what's behind the door and really think about what you're looking at of what's behind the door, if maybe there's nothing or whatever. So that's the way I think about it. Because at first I was looking at it like a closed door, wondering what's behind and not just kind of comparing it to other movies, which is one mistake people make. You don't compare it to other movies. But yeah, so when I left, and after a while, I really started thinking. When I got home, I was thinking about it off and on. When I went to bed, I was actually still kind of awake, and thinking about it off and on, wondering things like the Princess Leia scene, why they killed Luke, one of the main ones. Princess Leia scene I didn't think about as much, but and then why they killed Snoke so quick. Once I dove deeper, I started thinking of my own reasons for it, and then also watching videos made me realize, oh, that makes sense. So, yeah. So, did I like the movie? Yes, I loved the movie. Do I think there's some things that they could have done better? Yes. Like, another cliffhanger? Like, come on. A lot of people think that, like, they leave you up to thinking, and it's almost 2 years till the episode 9. I mean, come on. They didn't give us, like, an extreme cliffhanger, because, the story has to go for some reason, but so many unsolved things that we thought were going to be solved in this movie that were not. Like, Snoke's origins, and, like, just things with Rey, Luke, all kinds of stuff that we thought were going to happen did not happen. But a lot of it good, a lot of it bad. So, yeah. But, yeah, I did not think this was a bad movie in any way. There's just certain things that I had problems with. But I would have to see it again before I would have a complete opinion. And I would also have to see episode 9. And it would probably make The Last Jedi one of the best movies, I think, if, of course, they did what we were thinking and put it all in together. But anyway, now I'm going to talk about Snoke, and then I will get to Luke in The Last Jedi. Okay, so Snoke, one of the most strange, not unusual, but unknown characters in Star Wars that to date that I can think of. In the first movie, I thought he was just this all-powerful guy. I imagined him in some kind of massive cave of a castle kind of thing going on. Because I didn't know. But now I do like him a lot more in this movie. And talking more, did I think it was right for them to kill him? Sort of not. I had a huge problem with it. It was one of the main things that kept going through my mind. Why would they do that? Why would they take someone with such power and such potential for the movies and just take him and cut him in half? Like, literally cut him in half. It's like cut a person out of a movie, but they actually cut him in half. But think about it more. Now, him being so powerful, as we know with Force Ghost, when a Jedi is dead, they are more powerful than they were when they were living. They can't do the same stuff they can living, like physically, but they are a lot more powerful. They can, like what we saw Yoda, which I love that scene. One of my favorite scenes. I'll just talk real quick about that. Just made me super happy. I actually thought Anakin was going to be the Force Ghost in this movie, but that'll probably be the next one. That's my guess. I would think it would be fitting, maybe for him to come to Kylo and talk to him about something. Just tell him his thoughts, because he looks up to Darth Vader. So, yeah, who else but Anakin used to be Darth Vader, of all people, to come and talk to him. It'd be perfect. But, yeah, so Snoke being dead is actually, for his part, a good thing. But I haven't started talking about Luke, but I will say, since he's dead now, and he gave himself to the Force, it's to help him learn more, become more powerful. Same thing with Snoke. Snoke already being super powerful will probably be even more powerful as a ghost of darkness. Or a dark side entity, or dark side ghost, whatever it may be called in the Star Wars universe. I think it's just still a Force ghost, but that sounds too nice. So maybe there'll be some kind of malevolent, supernatural fight going on. Battle of the minds of Luke and Snoke. But who knows? I guess we'll find out. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was right that they did that to Snoke, to make you think, oh, no way, he was just cut out that easy. And some people think, oh, right, the bad guy's dead. Other people get mad about it. Some people like it. And people are divided in that way. And me, I'm in the middle. So I think it was right, because it kind of makes people think, okay, like in the Star Wars, that, okay, he's dead, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's not. What I mean is his physical body is dead, yes, but, like I said, he can be just as powerful in another realm of the Force, being some type of Force ghost. The thing I do have a problem with, though, is if he is not in the Last Jedi, or Star Wars 9, sorry, then I do have a humongous problem. But I highly doubt that they would just stop with the character right there. That does not make sense to me. That would be incredibly stupid. I'd be really, really mad about that if they just decided to trash Snoke all completely like they did the Knights of Ren. Unless they're going to be in Episode 9 and they kind of held off, then who knows. But some people think the Knights of Ren are the Praetorian Guards, which I kind of think, but I don't know. I haven't really looked it up to see if they actually are, but yeah. If not, then that's kind of weird that they didn't have the Knights of Ren in this movie. I think with all that happened in this movie, it would have been right to put them in, but maybe they'll show up in Episode 9. We'll see. Yeah, so still talking about Snoke. When Snoke dies, I will play the audio. Listen to every single word that he says. He knows exactly what Kylo Ren is thinking, essentially, is what he is saying. And he can see his every intent, everything he's going to do. And he says something about he cannot be defeated. Anyway, just listen to the audio, listen to everything Snoke says, and it makes complete sense that Kylo Ren's greatest enemy is Snoke. To heart, it is. He doesn't hate Rey. He actually somewhat gets along with Rey, now, somewhat, in the middle of the movie. So, yeah. Anyway, just listen to the audio, to every word, so it makes sense to you of why he was killed off and how he knew that he was killed to make him more powerful. Something like that.
You think you can turn him? Pathetic child. I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. I see his mind. I see his every intent. Yes. I see him turning the lightsaber to strike true. And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy.
Yeah, so there's the audio. Back it up, play it again if you need to. But you just really have to think about every word that he says. And you'll start thinking just completely differently. That he knew what Kylo Ren was doing. He knew the lightsaber was turning on his side. I believe that he completely knew what was happening. Kylo Ren was not turning the lightsaber towards Rey in any way, as said in another video, and I noticed that too. So he knew exactly what was going on there. He is really powerful in the Force, and that's why I'd be dumb if he didn't. Something inches away, moving, meaning the Force. There's a path of the Force, because that's how the Force works. He would have sensed that. He would have definitely sensed that. And if he can't see in Kylo Ren's mind, then he definitely saw that. And he said striking his greatest enemy down, being Snoke. That's my thoughts on that. Some people think that, some people don't. Maybe people will be mad at me for thinking that. I don't really care. That's just what I think. Yeah, so now going on and talking about Luke. So, when we last saw Luke in The Force Awakens, he was on the island. Mysterious. We didn't know what he was doing there, really, exactly, like, for the reasons he was there. Like, every reason, other than the fact that he thought he failed. So, you just kind of hermited off. But, I thought it was going to be a lot different when he was in this movie, because he took the lightsaber, instantly threw it behind. I thought it was going to be a lot different than that. But I liked a lot of things Luke did in this, but some of it was un-Luke Skywalker. Like, even Mark Hamill said himself that Jedis do not give up. They don't go putz off somewhere and start, just complaining to themselves, pretty much, just kind of in their sorrow or whatever, and their failures. Jedis don't do that. But to look at it in a different perspective, if you can think of another Jedi that pretty much putzed off, it seems like they cowered out and gave up, Yoda. He didn't give up, but he, in Star Wars 3, failed, so he went to Dagobah, a safe, unknown place from the Empire, from anybody but him. So, yeah, when Jedis fail, they go into exile, because they have a lot of the same philosophy as a samurai. When they fail, it's like a huge deal. Like, they fail, some people in life fail, and they're like, oh, dang it, it's a huge thing when they fail. So, I think that that's why Luke was there, but I thought it was kind of strange that he completely gave up. Like, Yoda, he was just kind of, messing with Luke at first, and then he revealed that he was Yoda, and then pretty much just said, train you I will not, kind of thing, and then eventually did. See, Luke did the same thing, and that is why Episode 8 is somewhat like Episode 5, but you can't look at it like that, because just it being a separate episode and that, because it is Star Wars, everything means something. They might have purposely done it, most definitely, but to me it's okay, because everything in Star Wars means something, especially when it comes to the Skywalkers and the family of Skywalkers. Anything has to do with that. So, do I think it was right for Luke to just kind of putz off and do what he did? Maybe not fully. Mainly for the reasons is that he tried to kill his own Padawan, because he sensed evil, and he just kind of, he didn't know what to do. He quick thinking was like, well, I guess I better kill him. And, took his lightsaber out and was kind of going to do it, and then he had a look on his face in his version of it. And then Kylo Ren brought the thing down and strode off with some of the other Jedi, Padawans, which are probably the Knights of Ren. But, yeah, so I thought that was wrong. That was very un-Luke Skywalker-ish to do something like that. But as someone grows, as someone ages, they're going to change. They're not going to stay the same from when they were in their 20s or 30s to when they're in their 50s or 60s. The mindset's going to change, especially when you're on an island for a few years or so, just kind of wallowing there and thinking. Your thoughts are going to change. You're going to have a different opinion, a different mindset on different things. So, that's my thoughts on Luke. I hated that he died. That's one part about this that, once again, I thought was not right, but you can make it be okay by saying that he wanted to discover more of the Force, and he knew it would make him more powerful, as I said earlier. So, in a way, it was right for him to die. He pretty much killed himself. Now, his fight with Kylo Ren, that was pretty awesome. I would say, at first, I was kind of like, what? Why would he project himself? Is he a wuss or something? No. He was toying with Kylo Ren because it would, kind of gave his hopes up, I guess, of actually just fighting Luke Skywalker. And that is a fight he could not win, even in person. I even think that, no, Luke would destroy Kylo Ren. And probably what would happen is he would be close to losing, and all those walkers would start firing on actual Luke if he was there. And I think Luke would be dead unless they did something, or he had some kind of force power that helped him survive. But projecting himself was pretty cool, something we've never seen in a Star Wars movie, only in Legends. So I thought it was alright. And he used such power, and since his age, he just kind of died. So, I thought that was kind of a sucky way to kill him off, by just making him die because he used too much power, but maybe he just gave himself to the Force like Obi-Wan did. He thought it was his time, so he gave himself to it to learn more, to become more powerful, which is not a Jedi trait that they try to be more powerful. That's a Sith thing, but he can learn more, and like I said, a malevolent fight of some kind, supernatural fight between Snoke and Luke. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Some things I didn't touch on, but I touched on the important things. Like, one of the things I didn't really say is Captain Phasma. Still, thoughts on her character were the same as they were in The Force Awakens. She kind of went out sucky. Like, I didn't think it was alright the way they killed her so fast. It was Finn just struck her in the face with that, and she had a look of terror. I thought that if something like that would happen, like, I didn't actually think it, but you would think she would be kind of like eyes squinted, angry. No, she had terror in her eye. She hates Finn so much, why would you, but then she just kind of fell, plummeted straight to her death in a pit of fire. So, just straight down, gone, dead, nothing. But, oh well. Because if they don't bring Snoke back, which I am like 99% sure that they will, maybe even 100%. Can't say 100 only because we don't know. But it'd just be dumb for them not to. And I can't see any good outcome if they didn't. So, yeah. I really do hope that Snoke is back in the next one. I hope there's some kind of thing with Luke, and I definitely bet there will be. Luke is not done. No way is Luke done. Princess Leia, I really don't know what's going to happen with her since Carrie Fisher had passed away. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. So there's a lot of unknown things that's going to happen, and we'll just have to speculate until the movie comes out. Anyway, may the Force be with you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and go subscribe to Star Wars Theory for awesome Star Wars Theory videos, awesome Star Wars movie explanations, and just things explained to you. So, Star Wars Theory, go subscribe, awesome channel, my favorite Star Wars channel by far. So, thanks for watching, and you guys have a nice day. May the Force be with you once again, and Merry Christmas.